we're going to do a core exercise from the core series. This is the first in the series, and it is one leg in, one leg out. So you're going to lay on your back with your knees pulled into your chest. Now this one is safe for diastasis. Just keep your head down if you happen to have it, or if you're unsure whether you have it or not, keep your head down on the ground. That way you're not in any sort of spine flexion. Deep navel to spine, as always with all core work. Make sure your belly button is pulled in towards your spine. If you're unsure about that feeling, know that you're working properly if you're not feeling any strain in your lower back as you start to move your legs. If you do feel strain and not just work, okay, there's a difference. Those muscles in your back are going to work. They're part of your core. But if you feel them straining, or if you feel an exaggerated arch in your back, then you know that you're not connected here. So eliminate the exaggerated arch in the back by pulling the navel to the spine. Think about your ribs coming closer to your hip bones. And then you're going to take one leg straight out, and then you're going to exhale and either bring it in and then take the other one, or you just switch gradually, okay? Each leg movement's going to get a full exhalation and inhalation, and you take your legs as low as you can tolerate the work here, okay? The leg down is going to pull on your pelvis, and if your core isn't strong enough, it's going to exaggerate that arch. So you've got to pull those muscles in and work where you can control that leg movement. One in and one out. One in and one out. Okay, exhaling with each one. Now, if you don't have diastasis or an abdominal separation and you want to go for a little bit more of a challenge, you can lift that head up into spine flexion, deepening that navel to spine connection, and taking one leg out, one leg in. And again, you can take the legs higher or lower depending on your strength. The other thing you can do is pull that knee in if you need a little extra stretch. It's going to give you a little stretch in your hamstring and glute, and also into that low back. And now, some of you might have a slight more external rotation of the hips, meaning that when you do this, the knees need to go out slightly, and the leg will rotate a little bit as you press. Let me get a little closer here. So if you need to do that and take the leg out on a slight rotation versus in straight, if that's more comfortable on your hips, then do that. But again, pay attention to that core connection and that pressing down of the back, deep navel to spine. And again, if you need to pull the knee in, you can absolutely do that. And that's all. Enjoy. Okay, a core exercise that's actually pulled out of my core series. This one is called double leg press. So you're gonna lay on your back. Oh, and by the way, those of you with diastasis recti, this one is safe for you to do. Just keep your head down on the ground and avoid spine flexion. So I'm gonna start laying on your back, navel pulled to the spine and your back pressed down into the ground. You don't wanna exaggerate so that you're in a pelvic tilt. You wanna just keep a neutral spine and deep abdominals. Okay, you're gonna bring the knees to the chest, glue them together, and you can just flex the feet gently, okay? While maintaining that deep core connection that you have right now, you're going to inhale as you press both legs out away from your body, and you're going to exhale to bring them back in. Now the trick here is to not allow the legs to be taken down to the ground with gravity. You have to resist that by engaging that core. So we're going to take an inhale, and then you're going to exhale, and that contraction pulls those knees back in. Watch that you don't allow the back to arch off the ground as you press your legs out. Okay, you want to keep that in. That is the work portion. Inhale and exhale. Now notice my legs are not going super low. I can take them low, but I want you guys to monitor the depth or how low your legs go based upon the strength of your core today. Every day that you do this exercise might be different. So you can add to that at any time, reverse crunches. You can add to that at any time, any other variation like pendulum, or you can do it in combination with a lower and lift. Those other variations will come up at other times, but if you choose to add to that, you can absolutely do so. Just make sure you're maintaining at all times that deep navel to spine connection, and that you're not over exaggerating the natural curvature of the lumbar, and that you're not over exaggerating pressing it down. We don't want to flatten the back if your body is unable to do that, okay? Work slowly. It's not rushed. It's not about how many reps you do. It's about how strong you do them. Okay, another core exercise from the core series, scissors. It's similar to one leg in, one leg out. However, it is with straight legs. I'm going to do that in air quotes, and you'll see why in a second. And it's instead of pressing the legs, you're lowering and lifting the legs. So I'm going to show you a couple of variations on it. Again, this is safe for diastasis as long as you don't go into spine flexion with the upper body. So keep your head down until you feel strong enough, or you know for a fact that you don't have an abdominal separation. So you're going to start on your back again, okay, with the knees to the chest. Then you're going to start with your legs up. Now, not everybody can get perfectly straight legs due to however tight your hamstrings and lower back might be. If you go for a straight leg and you feel like you're straining to get them straight, or this is like so tight, or you straighten them and they can only go there, then you've got to bend the knees until this is a comfortable position vertical from the hip to the knee. Okay, we don't want to start away from here because that's already putting strain and pressure on the back and on your core. We want this to be vertical. Okay, that's your starting point. So whether your legs are perfectly straight or they're bent, doesn't matter. The work is happening with your femur. And the idea is one going down, one staying up and coming in towards you, and then switching. Okay, and just like everything else with the core and all core work, navel pull to the spine, no strain or negative feeling in the back. You're gonna feel the muscles working, but it's different. You shouldn't feel pressure. You shouldn't feel strain or pain, okay? If you do, bend those knees more and keep it smaller. And keep it slow, guys. Remember, this is not about doing the movement fast. This is about doing it correctly, all right? So whether your legs are straight and one goes down and pick it up, down and pick it up, or they keep going and they pass midair. That's up to you and your strength today with the legs bent like that. Each one should get an exhalation. And if you're gonna go with spine flexion, you can either pull the leg or keep the arms wherever you want them to be, on the floor, up in the air. Here's with knees bent and spine flexion. Okay? Whatever variation you choose, make sure that you're breathing properly. It's going to help with the efficiency of the exercise and also the success of the exercise. Each exhalation causes an abdominal contraction, and that's what we want to be able to work those muscles properly. So enjoy that one. Thanks. Double down reverse crunch. You're gonna start on your back. Legs are up as straight as you can take them without straining your hamstrings. Some people have very tight hamstrings and the knees are only gonna be bent, and that is perfectly fine here. Those of you with diastasis recti, this is absolutely fine for you to do, and you should do this. Keep your head down on the ground, deep navel to spine, and there's no spine flexion from the top, only from the bottom, and that is to deepen those transverse abdominals. So belly button pulled in, arms resting on the floor, up in the air. If you're more advanced, no hands on the floor. You're gonna take your legs long down. Now, if your knees are bent, it's gonna look like this. Inhale down, exhale up. That's the double down, and then reverse crunch is lifting the booty off the floor. Now notice I didn't whip my legs over. I also didn't throw my legs to the floor and then throw them up in the air. It's very slow and very controlled. The most important part of this is maintaining neutral spine and your abdominal connection. When those legs go down, you don't want to lose that connection here. We want to pull that in and keep it strong. So inhale down, exhale up, and then with no momentum, deep connection. Inhale down, exhale up, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up, squeeze up. Okay, that's double down with the reverse crunch.